Шановні журналісти, вітання. Ми розпочинаємо наступний брифінг. І зараз будемо...
We start our press briefing, and now we are going to speak about volunteer movement, New Donbas, victories without arms. Larysa Artiuguina, head of NGO New Donbas, Jonas Daniliauskas, representative, and Western Union Enterprise Fund. Please take the floor. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. Thank you for we thank our partners that we are together today, and I'm the head of volunteer movement New Donbas, and volunteers are present, and I address journalists. If you have questions, you can ask our volunteers and get answers. And we returned from frontline territories, and I would like to start with our biggest project that form our philosophy, and that due to which we gathered here, and the process of rebuilding schools that is going on due to our volunteers. This year we worked in Luganska Oblast, in Stanично-Lugansky region, and we renewed school and helped people to return to peaceful life. And we helped teachers, students, our Ukrainian citizens in 3 small villages. And here on the screen you can see a photo taken in Nizhny Teple village. And this is Stanично-Lugansky region. The school was partly ruined, and the windows were damaged, and we brought window frames and we installed them, and together with teachers and pupils, we gathered, and our principle is that we go to remote villages and towns, and traditionally they say, "Oh, you are the first one who came." And here there is a map, and villages are marked. These are Platina village, Nizhny Teple village, and Kadrashivska school in Stanica Luganska. And our project helps, and we not only rebuild physically, we help people to return to peaceful life, to establish dialogue, to find possibility to communicate. And of course, our aim is our integrity and unification, and we should go step by step in this direction and help people in the east of Ukraine. We come for the first time, and we meet people with teachers, pupils, and we establish dialogue, and people can freely speak with us, and we show that we are simple Ukrainians as those people in the East. We bring some building materials, and we start repair works, and we conduct also some training, some workshops, classes with school children. And next time we come, and when the repair is on the way, and we communicate with teachers and pupils, and we bring people together, and they help to rebuild schools. And we can stay there for a month, and we help to rebuild schools. And then in the evening we gather and we discuss everything that happened during the day, and our experience show that this collective effort changes all of us, our volunteers who come from Western Ukraine, from the center of Ukraine, and we see by their own eyes that the life of these people in the East. Of course, there are some myths Russian television, and people see that we are normal people, and we establish dialogue, and we see it as our biggest victory, that we have this dialogue, that we have understanding, and we have the same view on Ukraine, that we have our unique country, and for the third time we come in order to finish repair works and to celebrate, because children, they like when it's warm and nice in school, but you know that children like celebrations, and here you see that our Artiuguina, she plays violin, and she is also a philologist, and she provided her violin to local pupil, and they all smile, and they try to play. And this project is complex and very important. This project is successful, and our volunteer may support this idea that we have not only communication, we have love from these kids, teachers, and love of these people from Stanично-Lugansky region, and we think that this is a victory of people. That's why our press conference is called Volunteer Movement New Donbas Victory Without Arms. And of course, I can tell you more about this project, but I want to tell you about that New Donbas is not only the project of rebuilding schools, but it started with this activity, and then we worked in school, and we understood that each volunteer comes with some idea, and this idea creates a new initiative. And people gather and create new ideas, new projects. That's why I would like to share the information that we have a new cinema department, and this department created and produced 3 documentaries, and you can see posters, and we say all about us, it is called, and we would like to tell the world about the changes after Euromaidan, and we are included in all these processes. And we believe that Ukraine changed, and have 3 phenomena volunteer movement, and we have a film about how we became volunteers. Then volunteer movement was created, and Bogdana happiness about a volunteer movement, and how it happened in Mykolaiivka, where the project was made last year, and also third movie, third documentary about Ukrainian phenomena, how Ukrainians are transformed in the citizens of their country. And it's the history of IDPs, volunteers, Kievans, and all other Ukrainians who are citizens of Ukraine. And we brought these films to Europe. We presented it in the same of Lithuania, and we were supported by the embassy, and also support of Ireland and Finland, and consulate of Ireland in Lithuania. And we are happy that we had support at the top level from our counterparts, and we hope that this project will tell us about modern Ukrainians at the same time in Europe and in the east of Ukraine.
For the next year, we have a plan that our movies should be demonstrated in the Netherlands, in The Hague, in Amsterdam, and simultaneously in Severodonetsk and Lugansk, and then have TV bridges to hold the dialogue and to find a common language between these two different locations. And then there's also we plan to create such a space, the House of Free People. We are one of the co-founders. Krimsos, Vostoksos, New Donbas. We have joined together, establishing the assistance center for IDPs, and this picture shows children from Nizhny Tepla who arrived to our house of Free People to celebrate Christmas. This project is supported by the American people, by USAID, and it's very important when people can come together and help each other. We also have very creative cooperation with the Lithuanian people. I think it's very natural. We have very good friends in Lithuania. We have Vatotas and Virginia Sankalas from Lithuania, who joined, who established assistance program for those Ukrainian children who suffer because of the war. Actually, Vedetas and Virginia do not create any PR news about the activities, but they very silently and very quietly provide assistance to those people. We were visited by Lithuanian embassy representative, by Mr. Jonas, who visited our school in Stanitsa Luhansk. And with this, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Jonas to describe his attitude to this project, why the embassy decided to participate in this project, why the embassy decided to allocate funds for windows, for construction materials on the roof, etc. The projects of the type which is developed by New Donbas, they are very important for Ukraine itself, for children, for school students who stay even now. They remain in rather difficult situation. Our decision to finance this project is very understandable because of the nature of the situation. If to speak more broadly about our policy in Ukraine and towards Ukraine, Ukraine is one of the top priorities in in our foreign politics, and here I mean not only just diplomacy but also the economic policy, and our assistance to the projects of the type carried out in Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts, and also to the projects connected with assistance to IDPs and humanitarian assistance. These are projects of primarily importance for us. Of course, we cooperate with the Ukrainian authorities, but our major cooperation, major part of assistance is not at the governmental level between Ukrainian and Lithuanian government, or even between the embassies or the diplomatic level, but this is a direct assistance from ordinary citizens and implementation of volunteer and participation in volunteer projects, and that's why we provide considerable assistance to Ukrainian volunteer organizations and to Lithuanian volunteering organizations. Of course, our assistance could not be huge. That's why we do very careful selection of the projects. Then we allocate money, and we are directly involved in control how the money are spent. But the work itself is carried out by volunteers like Larysa and New Donbas organizations. And what we also do, we try to extend the amount of this assistance. Last year, Lithuania had signed a memorandum with Sweden, and this memorandum was signed here in Kyiv, and its main objective is to finance projects in training, education in eastern Ukraine. This funding will be allocated for the projects similar to what Larysa and New Donbas are doing. We believe that our political support, we believe that signing of this memorandum and ability to generate and accumulate big allocations for these projects, we believe that they will go to children who really need this sort of assistance. In 2014-2015, Lithuanian assistance amounted to 2.5 million euros. This includes the projects which Larysa described, our humanitarian assistance projects, and the amount which we spend on Lithuanian experts working in Ukraine. They are quite numerous. Of course, we understand that the needs are big and much bigger than the country of the Lithuania's size could be available to provide. Although we donate relatively small amounts of money and contribute not huge financial resources, but we believe that our actual contribution is considerable, including our moral assistance and including the participation in the projects which Larysa described. Thank you very much for your support. I would like to thank the all Lithuanian nation, because it's not just money. This is also creative cooperation with the Luhansk Oblast schools. We brought Lithuanian volunteers to Luhansk region. They showed how teachers could learn how they could raise their professional level, how they can introduce innovative technologies. I think this is a unique partnership. Traditionally, we have problems with funding for construction materials. Of course, quite often international organizations provide assistance, but on cultural activities mostly. But money for construction materials could not be found easily. That's why I'm very grateful to the Lithuanian embassy to Ukraine in this respect. And now I would like to continue and say that it is not so easy to find this assistance, and we have very good partner. We have Pani Olena Kosharna, our very close partner. Our project started last year and with big assistance from Olena. She was the first to support us and our people in Mykolaiivka in Donetsk Oblast. And today I'm happy to give you the floor. Olena is Vice President of Western NIS Enterprise Fund.
Thank you, Laura. It's a great honor for me to be here and to support this initiative. As Laura said, we support Novi Donbas initiative, and we believe that they do really important things. Not Laura alone, but all volunteers. We help you a lot. That you came here today because together you create miracle. I would like to draw your attention that about 190 schools in the east are ruined. And of course, the state should do repair works, but we should take example from the New Donbas initiative, because they do it all with their own hands. And what we do, we provide financial assistance for building materials. It is important, but what is important that volunteers, they work with children, with teachers, with headmasters of the school, and this is very important because they help create hope, and for this we are very grateful. This initiative in the framework of our program of local development, and I address everyone. Financially, we support those people who really changed the country. Those people, those volunteers, those organizations who have ideas, who are initiative, and who change their country. Please address us. And this project, we supported, we were not alone in this. And through Rising Capital, our sister fund, and also Enterprise Fund, and we happy that 4 schools are repaired. But there are many partners who helped us, and as Laura said, it's important to create some to celebrate at the end of these repair works. And so I want to thank Erman, Markman, Les, and Nova Poshta that they joined this initiative. Because to buy everything that is needed and to create celebrations for more than 300 of pupils, this is a great thing. And we started in Mykolaiivka, and we broadened our activity in Lugansk Oblast, and this is only a beginning, and we will continue, and we will change the country. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Elena. And I want to tell you very important things that really we have to plan our future. We should see it and we should go to it. And we worked in Donetsk and Lugansk area and we have experience and we understand that we should change the paradigm, the approach. We understand that we should stop being something of emergency help. We did everything possible as first aid. We installed windows. We also helped in emergency situation to children in their learning. But the situation, emergency situation that existed for 25 years in the east of Ukraine, we should change it. We should change the situation. We saw by their own eyes that we those windows that we brought and installed, that they are these walls are cracked and they are wet, and we spoke with the headmasters of the school, and they said that, we have what we have. For 25 years in Stanishno-Lugansk region, they didn't have overhaul repairs, and some schools are in a very bad condition. And we understand that we need not only emergency help and minor repairs, but we should change the approach to schools and to education, and we have a goal to renew not only we should rebuild the 24 schools of Stanishno-Lugansk region, and we want to gather a group of experts, both Ukrainian and international, who will come to Stanishno-Lugansk region and conduct an audit, and then they will establish what school should be renewed and what school should be demolished and where the new school should be built with modern facilities. And also after this we will create a business plan and the calculations, and then we will find funds from state budget, from donors and partners who will support us, and then we'll change these schools and to create new schools. And we understand that that schools, they are more than just buildings. These are relationship between pupils and the teachers. Schools are not only knowledge and skills. These are the cooperative effort. And we signed memorandum with the Lithuanian Center of Youth, and they conduct trainings and create new programs and provide new skills, innovative skills. Also, we established contacts with Lugansk University, who now students now are provided with distance learning, and they are in Starobelsk now, and they don't have opportunity to study. That's why they study in distance mode, and we want them to provide some practice in the schools of the region, and also we want that students and teachers and pupils, that all of them have opportunity to get new knowledge from Lithuania. We applied for new grant together with our Lithuanian partners, and we hope that we will get this grant. And we should repair not only walls of those schools, but we should also create new atmosphere in schools. And we address all Ukrainians who want to help our country but don't know how. And those people who do not take arms in their hands, they should just join our initiative, and we will help them. And we have experienced partners who can do this professionally, and together we will go to frontline areas in Stanично-Ganska region in 24 schools of this region, and we will rebuild lives of people, the trust that was among Ukrainians, and rebuild understanding of each other, and to change self-identification of people in the we should change also because the changes are always mutual. Of course, both sides of communication change. So we thank you for your presentation. Your project is very nice, and we see that Ukraine is not alone. And we have 2 minutes for the next briefing. So do you have some questions, if there are any? There's one question. 1 minute, please. Very briefly. Svetlana Galota, Education of Ukraine. You say that they should change and be citizens. Is this happen? Do they join the activity? It would be very nice if someone from volunteers provided us with such an answer. Maybe someone wants to answer this question. And if you pay attention to our photos, you will see what is going on. You see that this is a joint effort. We come, we do some master classes, some activities, and then children join us. And our goal is that after we leave, that these classes, that they should stay. We had painting lessons. We provided pupils with materials for drawing and painting, and we now this activity functions separately. And we have shadow theater. This theater started by our volunteers, and this theater was created, and children continued, and they invited us to celebrate St. Valentine's Day, and they created some activity. And also we have one more project, and we have Olena Makarenko here, and she helps with this project. We created a newspaper, and students, they then a journalist came, and he liked the idea of this newspaper, and he said, let's create a newspaper. And he returned back with some computers, and he taught children how to create a real newspaper. And this is the only newspaper published in the region, in Slaviansk region, and our children, they create this newspaper themselves. They gather information, they provide photographs, and then they go to publishing house, then they distribute these papers. And Elena Makarenko, she is a coordinator of this project, and this is a phenomenon. This is a very good experiment, and we want to spread this experiment in different schools. And then also there were some dance classes in Nizhny Tepla. In 3 days they created this group, and girls gather several times a week, and they are trained in dancing, and we try to help with those activities, that they continue after we leave. And then in Nizhny Tepla, they found 3 pianos that were in some storage facilities. Our volunteer repaired these instruments, and now children have access to these instruments, but there's no teacher of music there. we have problems with teachers of music, with physical culture, and we brought 2 flutes, and 2 children are taught how to play flute. And also one of the pupils of the school, one girl, she had a unique voice, and our volunteer said that this is a phenomenon, and that the girl, she even didn't know that she was so talented. And we continue communication, and we continue to support these children. And Natalka, together with 2 volunteers, psychologist and lawyer, they go to school, and they will bring some maps, balls, and these children, they don't have this in their school. And Natalia will continue orientation. She conducted some survey in order that children understand where they can want to enter, into what educational institutions of the school. And unfortunately, we don't have time. You can continue your conversational records, and thank you for coming. Goodbye. And previous press conference took time, and I will end. Thank you for your question, and we will continue our conversation. And of course, those teachers, they are very frightened by the situation, by this war, and they want to change. They don't have any opportunities for this, and we plan to create such opportunities for them together with our partners. We will restore not only walls, but also we will restore peaceful life and help put change. Pupils and teachers and all the citizens of Ukraine in frontline area, we should provide help for them. And thank you very much for cooperation. And we invite you on Tuesdays, on Volunteers Day. It is a traditional day, Kirilivska 13D. We have a lounge zone, so you can continue your discussion in this area.